up at the monthly finals was their highest level of play because they've been able to do damage to the biggest teams in the qualifiers month after month, beating teams that no one would expect them to beat. So this is the time to do it in a monthly final, really.
Well, as we said, Team Queso didn't qualify last month. This time round with some team changes, they have done so, and 88% of you voting at event.brawlstars.com feel like those changes are cutting the mark. Flaring Phoenix will be the map up first for knockout, and the draft coming in. Mega's banned, so we know that we're not going to be seeing that. And I think that could make a big difference. I think that many teams have got to consider that with a lot of certainty really here. RT as well as the tick on the side of Amafantasi. Team Queso, the Grom. Gus coming in though for Amafantasi. If the bans aside the Grom were the Max and the Janet in that early draft there of the Gene, which can be fantastic in terms of value on this particular map. Having the vision gear really can go a long, long way holding that mid. But Gus as well, they're able to really have that cookie popper gadget to be able to then assert some authority and damage on your oppositions. Looking to pair it with the Amber. And that is one that I actually prefer over the Gus. As we already saw today, Amber, the new mythic gear, can really cause a stir, and getting rid of those bushes, I think is actually better than having to rely and depend upon a vision gear.
I mean, I love it. I love the Amber because you can burn out the bushes, and even in the later stages, you could just put your super on any lane and then move away, you know, and then your teammate has a lane against someone that's permanently slowed there whenever they move up and try to aggress with a new mythical gear. I think it can be very strong. We'll see what sort of approaches they have in mind. Obviously, bringing down the mid bushes is a top priority as well, so I'm not going to be expecting them not to do just that. See the Gray come in. Gray is an interesting place because we don't see him all that much, but we occasionally in knockouts see him just, you know, go for some very aggressive TP plays or play off the heal as well from his start power that comes from using his TP. So I can see the value. It is quite hard to land your shot, so you have to be absolutely ready with that sort of roll and mechanically cracked to get those connections. We'll see the Bonnie as the final pick here from Team Queso. Bonnie always good, especially in the bushes as well. We'll see how long we'll have the bushes, but the jump in can really help get either some assassinations or close out the games at the end of the rounds. And finally, the Daryl is going to be the final pick from Amafantasi and from this entire draft, as it will be locked in and a way to really bring in another level of aggression here for Amafantasi, which had a very passive comp until then.
I do like what Team Queso are bringing to the table. If Amafantasi can make this work, though, some interesting ideas. Would be my kind of go-to idea with the Daryl, but it can, do wondrous work if you can kind of creep your way forwards in the map and, have that little bit of the lake to really increase that roll as well, potentially here. But Bonnie here is definitely going to be a strong attribute there on the side of Team Queso. Let's see who gets that early start and who can get that early 3 versus 2.
So far, TQ definitely more aggressive here. Amafantasi are playing it passively, trying to get his super from sending next to the puddle that is gadget produced, but a beautiful gadget and snipe from Javi, locking in an early advantage here for Team Queso as they get the opening kill. Still gonna get pulled as well, opening up the map furthermore. Let's see if he decides to try to go for hero play. Funnel gadget already popped by Javi, by the way. 1-3 in the first round. Might be a chance here for Stel to try to do something, but it is going to be incredibly challenging. He's actually going to go for the roll. As his teammate goes down, it's not going to be ideal, and Team Queso was a very convincing first round, locking in 3 supers as well that will be carried over to round 2.
There was some hope, but I wasn't too convinced that the Daryl's going to be able to 1-3 it. But nonetheless, we can dream, as can Amafantasi, as you already mentioned. So let's see. But the Magic Hand is available to here to Boss, and Magic Puffs as well, just being handed over every now and again, getting themselves into a good spot on this right-hand side here for Team Queso. If Boss chooses to initiate it, it's going to be supported. That's the thing, and a big roll-in from Stel. Not going to avail to too much, though. 2 versus 2 now, though. Javi getting some good shots, but misses that one on the same, and Blacksea's able to secure it, though. Teamwork makes the dream work, and Team Queso.
Right, I guess. It was a potential tricky situation coming up, but at the end of the day, his Team Queso was a very dominant first game locked in. and Ammo Fantasia are gonna need to adjust, are gonna need to adapt getting into game 2. Same. This is gonna get pulled again, and he goes down once again early on. This is a huge problem as Philip is next in line. Ends up being in a one-on-one, and actually, the fire from the Amber is gonna prevail. Take down to Gene, and suddenly Ammo Fantasia kind of get a round out of nowhere.
I think that's a triple kill with Philip there just going to town on everyone. It was incredible. They just all had the tick over time and then just popped one by one. Are we serious? Are you kidding? Can we get the Twitch chat to check that? Oh my word. I don't think I've ever even seen it if it was the case, but let's see how Team Queso respond. Surely that must have shaken them a little bit, but it is Ammo Fantasia that are a little bit more on the back lines here as they've got to get out of this spot, or at least assert their authority more. Black's got jump as well as boss. Everyone on Team Queso's got super here, so a lot of utility on their side. But can they hold their own?
Brawl onto Stell, and he goes down. Blacksy getting a kill of his own, and a nice and cheeky TP away. Philip can't really do much besides try to maybe get a bit of his super, but he can get his passively anyways, and his puddle is not gonna be there anymore, so he is able to still find some value here and there. No passive as he doesn't have any gadgets, so we'll have to try to get some tanks. Either way, getting into round 3. Still does have his super, but boss is a pull as well. If anyone over aggresses, it's gonna be the end of them.
I'm still reeling off the back of that play from Philip. I mean, that was just crazy. I'm trying to keep it together, Teddy. Help me out here. Boss has got this magic hand. The ball here is available here. So he's going to land it for sure as Javi just keeps trying to keep Philip there on the right-hand side low. And I think that's wise considering what we know he can do. But the Mistwalking Cane could prove costly here. This thing in position, though, and that's quite crucial. The Gust Shield is available. And if Stell wants to roll in and gets that applied to him, that could well be the play here to make. That's what they're going to do. But the roll's a little bit late here. Blacks can just jump away as well, which he does. And the pull was perfect. Team Queso really stood their ground in that position there because I felt like, for me, Ammo Fantasia had a great opportunity. Now it's a 2 versus 1. Queso should have this one in the bag. And they do as they take...
Just still slacking quite a bit more considerably than the rest of the pack. Kills wise, obviously, it was Team Queso much more present on the scoreboard. We're moving on to Bounty, another slower game mode, but it is a map where you can bring in some aggressive ideas at times as well, but you gotta draft it right. And off the bat, TQ unbothered by the RT nerf as it's gonna be their first pick.
Yeah, triple thrower banned out there by Ammo Fantasia, and I think that's not a bad idea, to be completely honest. But yeah, the RT did get a nerf. I think to a lot of the pros on the scene kind of questioning as to why it was really a nerf that was aimed towards the super side of RT, which he doesn't really get too much of an opportunity to utilize, but it was a base HP damage as well. Base HP nerf. Down from 4,100 to 3,900. But the time between attacks and split form was increased, double actually, so you can have less shots in that form. But the Meg on the side of Fantasia has got to be a concern here. Team Queso, no doubt about it, regardless of having the RT, which I think is still very, very strong. Carl adding to the mix with the flying hook, definitely going to be in the position to be able to secure that blue star early on. Colette being added to the mix, and I do quite like this comp start from Queso. I think the Colette's a bit of an odd pick for me, just a little bit here. But let's see what Ammo Fantasia adds to the mix. I think the comp is better on the side of Ammo Fantasia, but the question is, have they got the ability to match the chemistry that we're seeing on the side of Team Queso?
I like the ideas on the side of Team Queso. Obviously, I mean, Gene and Meg are in a good place overall. Meg just, in general, really strong. Gene, particularly to Bounty, a good way to try to turn things around, get some chip damage as well, some nice information gathering in the bushes too. Neve as their final pick is going to be an interesting one, getting to play that into a Carl, which can really easily dispose of pretty much all of the hatchlings. So we'll have to try to see if Ammo Fantasia can keep the Eve away from that. Besides that, I mean, comp-wise, I personally would maybe even prefer the ideas from Ammo Fantasia a little bit more, but I feel like Team Queso has some good counters going for them, and I'm really curious to see how the RT is actually going to be playing out post-nerf.
I agree. I really like the drafts that we're seeing from Ammo Fantasia, and you know, they've got some good abilities to make things work. It's just that Team Queso have got that longevity of a squad that they just have so much synergy and connect connection with each other. But and a very swift takedown there from Blacksy onto Philip, and that's going to place Emefentase in the back spawn early on. Still needs to get Mecha form riding in swiftly as well. There's another takedown. And we've got to remember as well, with the recent change to bounty, the games will stop at 20 stars. So ultimately, if Queso keep this up, we might be seeing that play out for the first time here.
That is absolutely true. 3 supers available here for Team Queso. Potentially 3 kills if played correctly, and that would get us one step closer to getting to those 20 stars. But they're playing it safe and cautiously, as they should. It is a monthly final after all. Vaxi, never mind, not playing all that safe, not all that cautious. Ends up going down. Javi also in a dangerous position, but it's still going to result in net positive here for Team Queso. 10 stars on their side, only the 3 for Emefentase. 7-star gap that is scary for Emefentase for the least. The pool connects. Boss still gets a super follow-up super as well. Takes one with him, getting Team Queso to 12, but lowering the gap by 1 star.
Well, there are more hatchlings on the side of Philip there, so if he does get another super, nice got to go there as well to get out of the way of Blacksy, as he was going to ensure a takedown. 6 stars is doable for sure. If they get Javi taken down and anyone else, then they will be able to take the lead here. Same gets the ball of Blacksy, and that's one problem solved. But it's got to be a takedown of Javi, and here's the problem here. He's got super as well to hand. 10 seconds on the clock. Big flying hook there from Blacksy. Knocked back though by Same, and I just don't see a way that Emefentase can close the gap on the very person they need to get, especially not there from carrying.
Would have made a difference. Beautifully done there by Team Queso. Strong statement, and yeah, this is gonna be tough for Emefentase. Team Queso again was a free blue star.
Raising the white flag there, giving him. I don't think that's what we're going to see play out, nonetheless, but definitely feeling the front and the heat of what Team Queso brought to the mix today so far. So again, that same story we saw in the previous game, isn't it? 5-star lead on that blue star already with Team Queso. Blacksy locking himself in this left-hand side, keeping Stel low, as you've got to do against the Meg now, the rework that's in play, and now a swift takedown from Javi on the right-hand side. The first sign of life comes from Phil from the right, and it's just 2 stars, but now 6 in the blue. This is looking a lot better.
Yeah, Blacksy gets spooled. Massive kill for Emefentase. Back into this game, but is that going to be enough to get them back into this match? It's still going to be a whole other challenge there. As we do have 2 supers available for Team Queso to try to get some value and some high impact. Still low HP on the mech, but should be able to just heal up, and the magic puff's definitely helping out there as well.
Well, time is on the side of Team Queso, as is the positioning here. They're just keeping back Emefentase in this spawn area, but a big pull. Javi hasn't got time to get the super off either. Black's with a fumble on the right-hand side as well. Everyone going in for Team Queso, but will they come out? They do! Oh my word, what a steal! I didn't think they were going to be able to do it, but they did just that. Emefentase not done though, trying to keep this gap closed. There's time, but a huge moment there for Team Queso.
Absolutely crazy plays. The team play was phenomenal, but Blacksy's the one now carrying all the stars that they need. Boss gonna get a great super off as well, creating a big distraction. They need to take care of him, but his stars don't matter at this point. They still need a kill on someone. The pool is gonna be missed. He was so very few teams have so far in 2023 managed that feat. Let's see if Safe Zone is gonna be more their jam as we move on to highs for set number 3.
Yeah, nothing excites me more than an underdog story. But is the dream just a bit too big at the moment for Emefentase? Is the question going into Safe Zone for Heist. It does feel like to me this is a very much a Team Queso kind of map. They like those long range, but also aggressive ideas to add to the mix. And you know, that's where you can really pack a punch onto the safe here. Mech's not banned. I'm going to say every time, it's just the thing to do today, isn't it? Just to point out at the beginning of every single game whether it's banned or not, because it does make a potential factor here. Artie coming in for Team Queso. I really like that pick. The bans there being Penny, Max, and E from their side. The Penny's a huge ban for them. B, Bonnie, as well as Otis for Emefentase here. Maybe considering a tankier idea for their comp. It's kind of a bit of a strange brawler to ban is Otis here on Safe Zone. Nonetheless, I do love the Brock Brock and RT as a pairing here is fantastic. Despite the indestructible walls coming into the mix and sort of deflating a little bit of what Brock's able to bring to the table, nonetheless, it's still a really solid pair of hands. Let's see, though, what AOF are going to be adding to this Colette, which is already a very good starting hand.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe an 8-bit or something along those lines. Maybe, yeah, well, they banned B. I was going to say B would have been quite fantastic, but yeah, it's out of the picture, and they'll go Carl instead, which I used to love so much on Safe Zone, but I feel like it's been kind of overshadowed rather, by a lot of other viable picks, and it's not as easy to get into that top right position you want to be landing in. Bell is going to be their final pick, and to me it lacks flavor just a little bit, as I just like the personality of Team Queso's comp quite a bit more of a statement. I mean, just as I said, we end up having Edgar that did get buffed a little bit HP wise. I believe that was his only buff, but he might have some decent matchups here, and I don't even know if he cares all that much. He might just want to jump on safe and go deal some damage, respawn, and do that again.
Yeah, I don't feel like the buff warrants a pick here. I mean, I'm looking on the other side of the field. The brawlers that he's going up against don't really cater towards it. I mean, the best counter is really towards a Rico, and I just don't know where Team Queso are going with this idea. I think you could well be right, just trying to keep that aggressive cycle onto the safe to ensure the takedowns, but it is a questionable one. I would much prefer to have seen something like an 8-bit or something with more range coming to the mix. I don't necessarily mind the Bell, actually, on the side of AOF here. I was expecting maybe a Daryl, just considering that they banned both the B and the Otis, which just seemed to be a bit of a showing of ideas here. Great value there from Saint, but he didn't go for the pickup there, and it's going to prove costly. The pickups does not come back enough to get the takedown, and it does seem like, for the most part, AOF were able to defend there. Nice mark onto Javi as well, so should he heal up, he'll go down pretty swiftly as well, but definitely not the best start here for Queso.
Yeah, certainly not. Sammy doesn't have his super, but Black Sea shuts down any aggressive ideas there. Well done by him. Philip not quite able to confirm that kill, but the bell shot will be bouncing around and keeping everyone nice and low, as Javi is able to match the damage pretty much onto that blue safe. Only 1% ahead now for AOF, but they still have some chances to deal more damage as Sammy finds some more shot, finds some more value, nearly finds another pickup as well, and gets some nice damage onto Black Sea too. Steldo is going to be predictable with that super, and Javi is ready for his repositioning as he catches him on landing. A big lead damage-wise, but one that Javi is going to try to close down just a little bit. Beautiful pickup from Javi onto Sammy as well. AOF not quite as much ahead anymore, but a Colette super here will further enhance their lead, get all the way down to 29% on that red safe.
Yeah, I've got to say this is the most convincing that we've seen so far for AOF as they try to secure this last final percentage on the safe. Just 29% now, 3% there, less, as Sam just gets a nice pickup onto the safe as Stel coming into the mid now, trying to earn that super so we can go onto the safe, coming back there. The shield as well. Blacksy goes down yet again. He's having a rough game, that's for sure. Just for 13% now, and AOF will start to bring back a game, and that's huge. They haven't had a single one so far.
This is going to be the one.
I can understand there's an argument to be had that it counters some ideas, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, it's very much apparent that Team Queso are struggling way more than we've seen them struggle with so far. I don't know why they've done it. I really don't think this is providing much value, but maybe there'll be something in this next game to change my mind over things. You know, it just seems like every time Black tries to make a play, it's countered. And I think rightly so. It would happen, that AOF is going to be very much aware to it and just working on that synergy soon to ensure the takedowns. Again, second time in a row as I'm talking.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's pushed the tempo or something, but it's not paying off so far. AOF was a little bit of damage behind, actually, this time around, but they do have full-on mid control, so surely they should be able to start catching up. A jump in from Black Sea is going to be punished as he gets slowed by the nest egg, and now Boss is pushing forwards, hunting for Still, but he will be taken out. Philip gets a nice pickup as well. The mark is going to be missed, but Black Sea is nice and low anyways, and the safe starting to take more and more damage. AOF now is a 5% lead.
Good amount of area control so far. Boss low though. Good pickup swings from Sam, and he will secure it onto Boss as well. Going in as well, gets the takedown. Beautiful stuff. It's much, much better, isn't it? And a singular set can change things so massively so here. Big mark there onto Black Sea as well. Again, I'm looking forward to the stats at the end of this game. Boss in a world of hurt. Continuation cycling there from Fantasy, who are just all over this game.
It should be GG's well played. I mean, Javi's just hiding in a corner at this point, and even though they do manage to get a couple kills here and there, still gets another super onto the safe. Nearly could have chained this one as well. And a chance here for Team Queso to get some further damage. Sammy, ooh, gets deleted by Boss. That finally is going to be popping a super there. Quick trade from Stel though, and Black Sea's just going to be a spectacle.
That cushioning, but now they've got to get down to business and really land it when it comes to Brawl Ball and Pinhole Punt.
I think you make absolutely valid points here, and again, I think an even draft is always going to be in the advantage of the favorites, and the favorites are clearly Team Queso. So I would, just double down on what you said and agree. I think they should just go for a very safe draft. I'm expecting them to, but then again, I didn't expect them to go for Edgar in set number 3. So maybe they still have some surprises. That is very true. No one did. No one did. Bands are lined up. Carl B and Crow for Ammo Fantasia. Team Queso opening out the Max, and Ash for their side. As we'll see the Janet first pick, which I don't mind. I don't think it's the fanciest first pick. I mean, we've seen it so much and for so long now as a very common first pick that I'm not really bothered by it. I like it fine, but it doesn't really bring in a whole lot of fluffy.
Yeah, it's a very common pick, isn't it, in EMEA, as it is across a majority of the regions, but nonetheless, I feel like EMEA play it about the same as South America, actually. I do like the bans, though, on the side of Queso, and that does come full circle with what I was saying previously about, just taking no chances. Banning out the Meg, banning out the Max, RT coming in as well, and the Ash, getting rid of that. I think that there's some really good starting signs there for me. Carl B and the Crow ban, not bad bans at all by Fantasy, but I feel like Team Queso have just taken it a bit more of a cautious approach, considering that they lost the coin toss here. And RT is always a great brawler to have here on Brawl Ball. Penny as well coming in, able to really secure yourselves that control that you need to have when it comes to scoring goals.
I like the Penny. We might be seeing her new gear at play as well. Get an extra damage on the mortar, which could be quite valuable. Again, I don't know if it's necessarily a must either, because you have other gears that are just really important too. Speed gear, I think, is pretty much a must on this map as well. Potentially, you might just want to be rocking damage gear instead as well. So I'm not entirely sure what the approach is going to be, but I would kind of expect the new gear to come and play on this map. We'll see the suit locked in as well now for MO Fantasia, and I like it for sure. I mean, just a lot of value all around, a lot of utility for the team, and an incredible fighter when it comes to one-on-ones and being able to just get an opening here and there. So I don't mind this approach whatsoever. They're going to have a lot of utility combining the gadgets of both their picks so far. I feel like that can give them a nice early advantage if they want to fight for that mid, as we'll see Sam as their final pick, which is going to be much more interesting here. I don't know what to think about it, because against an RT, if RT is super, that might be a quick way to just die if you get over aggressive. But at the same time, it could do fine against Penny, and we'll see what the final pick is for Team Queso. They do have some opportunity here to try to find something that deals with it nicely, and Surge is a phenomenal way of doing just that.
Yeah, what a great counter idea. I mean, Sam's job is primarily to kind of just go in and cause a problem, right? I mean, Penny's got a great deal of knockback potential. Surge, that is his game. I do feel like Sam is going to really struggle, or whoever is playing that Sam is really going to struggle. RT with Super, they've really responded well. It made sense in terms of the draft because Ash is banned, and therefore you're not going to kind of have that brawler show itself and lose that kind of 1v1, as Sam does tend to struggle a little bit against that that in a 1v1. But nonetheless, surprised to not see even like a Primo. That's quite a common brawler to have here in this region. And we've seen people like Samantha doing insane plays, and also Reply Totem greatly so on that particular brawler. But I want to see how Stel performs here. We are going to see as well, by the way, the Penny Epic gear coming into play. It's called Pet Damage. It will provide 20% more damage on the turret side, so that is definitely worth considering here. But let's see how things play out. So far, so good for both sides, earning their utility and just a couple of takedowns, but nothing too crazy as both sides battle the mid.
Mortar going to be causing some problems, taking Sammy into the skies. Ball is sent to the right-hand side by Philip, gets his super back very swiftly as well. V goes down, and now a 3-on-1 is Blanks. He's alone to defend, gonna give it his best shot, but not quite gonna cut it here for Team Queso as Emma Fantasia locking an early goal. Minute and a half left on the clock here for Team Queso to try to equalize.
Great start for Emma Fantasia. I'm surprised to see it because I feel like they don't really have comp for it. But nonetheless, Blacks are going in, but very, very aggressive. Gets taken down for his troubles. Philip has got super here. We'll go in trying to get Javi and does find the angle for it too. Will he be able to score from this position? Oh, a bit of a rough shot there. Don't know where that was going, but maybe even off the field. Let's see that they can bring things back to some order. A push through here. Still goes in. Team Queso left the door.
I honestly thought, looking at the draft, I thought that it was a huge blunder to go for the Sam this early into the draft. I mean, it was their last pick, but considering there was a pick still open, and that every brawler on the side of Team Queso should be able to, deal with it decently. They have some utility to deal with it. Blacksy has been miserable this game, getting shut down left and right and just not there to take care of Stel, and that's going to be a free goal even earlier than the previous one for for Ammo Fantasia. They're up 1-0 again, and they're practically a goal away from taking us to set 5.
I put my ear to the ground, Teddy. I'm pretty sure I can hear the chat saying reverse sweep. But let's see whether Team Queso can muster something back up here, because they do seem to be very flustered and all over the place. Philip is having a fantastic game, by the way, dancing around the situation. But this is a great chance, a great opportunity, and it's fumbled. Terrible stuff. Team Queso have got to get this under control. They should not be losing this.
Tough spot for Team Queso. Bull is going to be cornered up on the right side. Boss is going for it, still trying to interrupt it, but a pass is going to connect to Blacksy, and he scores it up for Team Queso. Still fighting here for set number 4 as Blacksy gets an early pickup, and he was struggling so far in this set, but he seems to be shining more now. A nice ball from Stel, but is it enough? Philip is low HP, so is Blacksy. Blacksy falls, and Emma Fantasia, they'll get some control back.
What an incredible gadget, can I just say, from Stel. That saved the moment. That was a short goal there for Queso. Beautiful stuff from the magnetic field there coming into play. But can they recover from the situations? It does feel like Team Queso is starting to make the cogs work again. Big heals as well from the hearty recovery. Is Stel really being scrutinized here? Blacksy's getting his stacks and his mobility up as well. And the ball gets cleared. Great stuff from Emma Fantasia. Far from out of the woods, but I'm surprised they were able to bring that away to delay things even more so. Stel is going to have a tough spot here. Javi's got super as well. Everyone there knocked back to hand.
They did wonderfully well in the first game, and all the way up until, their first goal in this second game as well. Look at that, a strong start from Team Queso. And that could be troublesome, as Stel is still trying to find some value. Javi is able to take him down. And I think Blacksy is a shot or two away from stage 2, and he really needs that extra movement speed to try to find and follow around the Sam that moves so quickly. So far, not able to get those opportunities just yet.
Stel can't really contest this against Javi now, not with super to hand. Boss taking a few shots, as is Blacksy as well. That Penny turret, again, coming down with 20% more damage. Philip goes for a trick shot, and he almost gets it! Not quite going to happen, but oh my word, what an attempt! A very important takedown to Stell. Say we can't really do much about the situation except land onto Boss, and that shot was fumbled. He should have really landed it, held on just a little bit longer, but not to be. There's now some cracks starting to form a little bit here from Fantasy, taking too many chances and too many ideas that just don't pay off. Stell should be able to get this in, but is not going to be able to do so. The knockback there too strong, but definitely some opportunities that are being wasted here for Fantasy.
Yeah, they had a lot of chances here to get some big kills and maybe even score. It's not going to be meant to be just yet. Blacksea gets pulled, is jumping away, gets reset on his heel. Can Sammy find him? He will do just that. Ball pushed forward, but Javi catches it and is going to push it back once more. That's going to buy some time, but the space and the control here is in favor of Fantasia, and all they need is a goal here to take the advantage.
This could be a crucial moment. Team Queso are on match point, but if Fantasia get this goal, it will go to the fifth and final set. Blacksea low here, going to be forced back, and Phillips couldn't quite find the distance to close, connect them. But Boss and Javi are under a lot of scrutiny, and the heels keep coming in there for Stell. Philip, though, now low himself, has got to retreat back a little bit, drop the base there from Sammy, taken care of quickly there by Blacksea. But that's a great defense, got to be said, from Boss here, as the timer approaches going into overtime here. And Queso know that they've got so much momentum to be able to secure the map and then bring back a goal potentially to follow. But Philip's been left untouched. He might be able to go through it here. No HP, and not going to be able to do it. But a door left open there. Crazy stuff.
Another attempt there, but everyone is solo on Team Queso, but everyone gets to live. Team Queso now with a final assault, potentially the final one of the match. If they can score this one up, the mortar plays aggressively as well. Blacksea could jump in, he's gonna do just that, picks up the elimination. It's only Philip left alive and he gets melted down. Team Queso are gonna be moving forwards to the semifinal. They'll be matching against Na'Vi later on that side of the bracket. And Fantasia, I mean, in the first set, and even the first set, it felt like this would be a trio sweep and we really wouldn't have that crazy of a match. But sets 3 and 4 certainly provided tons of entertainment, whether it was facing that Edgar or now in Brawl as well. Which is funny enough, I feel like they were